Alright, game versus dragons. As usual, we'll watch through the first shift, make any comments, but otherwise, yeah, I think this one, I kind of talked to Alex yesterday about how when he's passing, there's like almost no deception, just like that. How it's like there's no inkling that Alex is even gonna shoot. It's like all pass all day long, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. I'm not even sure why we opted to do that. Just the whole crowd of things, and then like, wow, that's a lot of space. But okay, let's continue. Good movement there. Excellent movement there. Good chance. So right here again, so Janice going to the boards is fine, and then eventually the play kind of moves to over here in the on the half wall, and you kind of stay on this back door, whereas I would have preferred you coming all the way over here instead. So let's continue. So like you moving to there, that's good, and then as it comes back over here is kind of when you want to start shifting your way all the way over here one more time. So coming back, you see how you, Janice, you stop here, so you want to migrate all the way, just keep on coming up. This is the only difference. Don't want to stay back there, in my opinion. But in general, like you're moving around the ice well, everyone. Good reversal back to the D. Oh, here we go. You missed the net, Alex. That's a good chance though. That was like big pass. D going for a chain. Ugh. So what happened there? Just got blocked. So I think I also talked to Alex about this. Is one of the things that's he's kind of slowed to, what slows him down a lot is the stick handle. See how it he does like a 1-2 stick handles, receive 1-2 stick handle, and it gets blocked. Versus he doesn't have to one time it, like, but at the very least he should be able to catch. Like he doesn't need a one timer, but if you could catch, bring it in, and then right here and just fire it off, he's bought himself like a little bit of time before this player gets up in his face. Whereas that 1-2 stick lift, like stick handles, slows it down, and I would say that's the only thing. The shift's getting a little long now. We're going for a change. Okay, good. Cool, that's first shift. Not like pretty good offensive chance. And yeah, couple comments there for positioning and stick handling wise. All right, third shift. We got the Ray, Kathy, Fiona line out there with Ernest and Jess. Defensively, it looked like a mess. Well, let's kind of break it down. So Ray gets it, brings it back. Again, we've kind of gone over this. Anyone that gets the puck, take it behind the net. So if you lose it, that doesn't matter. But then Ray's dingle dangling around and loses the puck. And then, let's see, Fionn caught napping a little bit. And then number 00 gets the puck. They keep it in. Ernest tries to keep it out, but hits the guy in the body. That's fine. And so DD, the winger is up there, fine. Whereas our center is caught snoozing a little bit. So Kathy needs to come in and help out because Mr. Ray is snoozing at center position and Cliff holds it. So yeah, a little suspicious there. We're going to witness some more defensive lapses coming up. So shot on net, fine, fair enough. Like this is all fine. This is red tape, you know, going a little easier on Amanda, that's fine. We got another red tape. No one's able to challenge him until Carrie-Ann gets over. Shot. Another shot coming in. Oh my goodness, are we going for a change right now? If we're gonna go for a change, I gotta change it way earlier. Wow. Okay. So shot on net. Couldn't quite clear that. Oh my gosh. How many shots are you guys gonna let him have? Okay. So the mistake here is Thomas charging from his left side coming out and this guy protecting the puck, so he's out of position. And then what is Ray doing? Oh gosh. So then we get him to have a shot and then oh my god. We have all our defenders behind Cliff and then 3 attackers in front of Cliff. What's going on, guys? Oh no. Defensive disaster. And then we had our 2 going for a line change in the middle of the attack. I don't know. I don't know if I have much more to say about this one. So this whole shift is probably some Alex nightmares. Boom. Big shot. Big save. So that was a pretty good shot. Good. Goalie made a big save there. Yeah, I think again, Janice, it might be better served to come here for the attack. That's, you know, that's fine that you're going to the opposite corner as well. It's not terrible. Let's see. Big shot. Oh, maybe took a little too long to get that settled down. But another good shot. Big, like it hit off his knob. So, yeah, fine. Oh, fanned on it, Thomas. And then they knock it out. 2 big chances there. Yeah, I think in general it was fine. Positioning is fine. What Janice is doing, getting, like, I think the important thing is, yeah, I can see you trying to get into those the boards to support. That's perfectly fine. And if you don't need to go there, I would advise going into this area rather than staying on the backdoor side. But yeah, I think this was fine. So Carrie-Ann comes in for a shot, gets tripped up. Surprised that wasn't a penalty, but that's okay. But I thought this was really funny. Right here. So Fionn yells Kathy right here. She's on her backhand, and all you see is what? 1, 2, 3, drag. How's that ever gonna come through? Oh goodness. This is like no way, no chance. Yeah, that's good movement there. I think one of the things Pio needs to do right here is either get to this wall or come into like a more open area. Okay, like right here was good where she passes it off to Ray, and right here, yeah, feed might be open. This might work. Let's see. Okay, someone was in her face. I do feel like if she was like, you know, my favorite spot, it just buys that extra time. But in general, it looks like this has a good chance on that back door. Kathy goes for a shot. I can't tell if he saved it or it hit the side of the net. But oh my god, what the heck? Was that a save? Back door, hit his pad and out. Oh goodness, could have been a goal right there. Could have been a goal right there. Pretty good. Pretty good. So, is that Norman again? Oh man, what are you doing? Sloppy with the stick, so bumps up Justin and then gets the stick caught on Janice. Oh my goodness. We got Carrie Ann and Janice getting demonized with the trippings. Sloppy stick work. So in the past I've kind of said we like to try to have our wingers stay closer to the D, but a little caveat on that. If you ever see the D way back in their zone like this, you have full permission to take as much space as you want. This is like free. This is free. So let's continue. I'm fucking up. And Lena almost gets her first goal here. I'm pretty sure it was first goal or second goal. But my god, this goalie makes like her shot was going straight there to that little open spot. Oh my god, kick save. That's crazy. Wild stuff. Okay, so after that shot, and we get over here. So Lena's in a good spot right here, magic spot, and I'm heading down to the support position. Now, one of the things I wanted to make a comment about is when we shifted from left to right side, from like before Dave was here, Lena was here, and then myself was going into this corner. Perfect. It was picture perfect. Now that we've shifted to the right side, we would want to imagine someone here, and then roughly, I would say more in this area. But Lena's kind of in that really far backdoor position and on a sharp angle. So number one, let's kind of just break it down here first. So the problem with being on that sharp angle is it's not a very, I can't really draw straight lines. It's not, let's draw the net over here. So boop, boop. If you're like over here, this angle to shoot at, it's not really like, this angle is not very big versus if you're stepped out a little bit, you get more to shoot at. And so if like you were here, per se, for Lena, it'd be a more advantageous spot to shoot with if you get the puck. Now, we get it up to Ernest, and I think one of the things you should do is come up and still kind of skate towards Ernest. So he could send a pass to you and then you turn and shoot. That is totally an option. But with you kind of on that back door right there, this pass doesn't really work versus if you were kind of over here. Now, getting over there, like let's say you started off a little higher, like I suggested a little bit earlier, then you can just back up like this as well. That's totally an option. And then where it really becomes a problem is right here. Boom, we got tons of dragons. To feed it through, it's going to be a little bit tricky. I think the idea here was to get it to Dave, but unfortunately caught a skate. Versus, I think in general, if here, it would be a little bit of an easier pass to get to Lena. So really the takeaway is try to avoid super sharp, like sharp angles and really far back doors. If you want to go like, so we've kind of, if we do the concept of cutting the ice in half, if you want to be on that left side of the ice, generally I would suggest staying a little bit further away from the net, almost using like face-off dot as like the lowest point. So mirroring Lena, instead of kind of down here, I would suggest maybe over here if you kind of want to be on the opposite side of the net. And that way you just get more of the net to shoot at and more space to work with. Okay, so we'll stop it here. I'll highlight this play pretty good between Ray and Kathy. So elements of it: half wall, corner. Excellent spots to pass to each other. And then execution, give and go. You gave it and you went, so you give and you go. Pass up, one timer, boom. Excellent. We all know my comments about backdoor, but let's continue. Let's see. Again, the shifting, I love it. That support, that half wall. Thomas is shifting up here, excellent. Carrie Ann keeps it in. I remember that. That was pretty awesome. I would say risky, of course, if we stand our ground like this. However, it's not too bad because Thomas is already kind of starting to retreat, and Ray's covering as that center. So yeah, this is okay to pinch like this. And kept it in. Let's see how this was a good passing up. Oh, just tough backhand, right? Another thing for Kathy to think about as well is if you're not completely certain, like, of being able to get that backhand pass across, one of the things you can also consider is just continuing, and then Fee can back up, and then this might be a little bit of an easier pass after you've kind of killed off that pressure by going behind the net. Something to think about. That's fine. You know, it looked like a good play developing here. Thomas keeps it in. Yeah, I remember that one then too. That was pretty nice. And they get it out. Yeah, I think highlights. Yeah, Ray and Kathy did a good job moving between like half wall and the corner. And the give and go in there, pretty good. I thought this was pretty funny here. So big stiff lift by Justin, excellent. But a little stumble there. Working hard right there. But Alex is able to recover the puck for him. Good corner, like board battle right there. Keeps it, protects it. Now, big shot by Ernest through the screen. Glove saved by the goalie, but he got a little too much puck watching, and he's drifting in deep, and this becomes a problem. Oh my goodness. Thankfully, it's a red tape, and Jess is an absolute brick wall back there. Shuts it down, and we get a little reset here. A little extra comment as well. Try to get a little wider, Janice. And another recommendation is continue skating down and then turn up. Don't try never to stand still. I might be able to find some examples of other players of how it is, how you can implement it yourself, but this is something for you to keep in mind. Actually, a good example right here is watch how Justin cruises back. He's always skating back, and then easy pass and just turn. So it's the same thing for you, Jess. You're gonna skate back, easy pass, then turn. For example, yeah, and then it'll be easier for you to get the pass. I'll give you examples. So this one, defensively coming in, big shot. Oh my god. And then Justin has a huge save. I now see why Cliff made that dive. He had you dead to rights and made a sick play like that. And then with the, oh my god. Defensively, let's kind of talk about why this was no bueno. So number 5 coming in, and I guess the first thing that I see is how Jess kind of goes for the stop. She's trying to stop him at the blue line. Totally understandable. One of the things I would say is the mistake is if she's able to backward skate, continue your backward skating. And the mistake was how she kind of stops and almost as if was going to be lunging forward. And so the problem that causes is now she's flat-footed, right? And she can't continue skating backwards. That's kind of problem number 1. Now, what that causes is Ernest is going to start to shift over, but then he forgets that key aspect of he needs to stay between the player and the net. And he gets there, pivots, but then decides, well, not decides, but the accident is he overskates. And so he's no longer between the puck and the net. He's kind of shifted off to the side, which allows a shot, clean shot on net, which also, what the problem causes is it draws Justin over, and his responsibility absolutely should have been number 5, 100%. And which causes this kind of oopsie daisies, and because everyone's puck watching, everyone forgets about number 00, which was supposed to be, I would say, Jess and Ernest's responsibility as they were recovering from overskating, which allows that to happen. So a string of mistakes for sure. But I would say, yeah, Justin prevents another goal there, so we stay 1-0. I think this one, I wanted to point out a couple mistakes, a couple good things. So myself and Dave, he's grinding hard. We might have been able to. So the first thing I kind of want to point out, big traffic on the boards right here. So we're moving, shifting it down, and one of the things to kind of if there's a lot of board pressure, like let's say a lot of people on the boards, that's kind of when you want to try to sneak in. And we're kind of, if you could work that give and go, but right there, Dave's got a lot of pressure. And so one of the things for Lena is she could opt to get here and support Dave in that manner, and then we're still kind of forming triangles, one on the side of net, one on the side of net, and then this player comes in and we fill out that middle triangle. Totally something to work out. And Thomas is sneaking in. That's good to see. That's fine. He's the weak side D, so he has, and you can see here, all this space that he can work with. Totally up to him. That's his prerogative as a weak side D. We can see that he isn't able to quite relieve the pressure, and we're still kind of working those boards, and that's fine. That's like all quite good and dandy. I think let's kind of look at Lena. If she's able to sneak up here, totally, I think that's going to be great. But I wanted to highlight Carrie Ann here. This was probably, I think, a mistake on her part. When that puck, and we'll cut that ice in half, when that puck is on that left side, it is so important. We've kind of said this over and over again. It is so important for whoever that D, so puck's on the left side, that left D needs to be on the boards. It have to be. And she opted to sneak away to the middle of the ice. Now that makes sense, maybe on a power play, if we're kind of running 1D up top, and that only works because there's 4 defenders. When we're on like 5-on-5, your expectation is always going to be there's going to be a defender on you, and if you can't have anyone to pass to keep it in, then the puck comes out of the zone. So that is a mistake, certainly there. Now, clearly here, I lost the puck, over stick handled it. However, if Carrie Ann was there, this is no problem. We just send it back down low. Dave's got it down here. We're fine and dandy. So this is, I would highlight this as a mistake for the D. Whenever the puck is on your side, you need to stay on the boards. And that's, I guess, to bring it up in the past reviews, Ray would make this mistake a lot. He's kind of fixed that now. So all D, you gotta stay on the side. And then whoever's on the weak side, so when the puck's on the left side, if you're a right D, then like I said with Thomas, you can have a lot more freedom of where you can go. So I don't know what happened here. Kind of strange. So we saw Thomas just comes out, but Jess, Kathy, Fionn, Ernest, Ray already on the ice. So that's how we get our too many men on the ice. You can even see the ref counting. What happened? Alright, so penalty kill. Thomas is in the box. So in terms of the lines, it makes sense. We need 2 red tapes. So Carrie Ann being one of the red tape D, she'll swap off with Jess when we need to, and it makes sense to have the other remaining forward group. So Fionn, Kathy, Ray covers off 2 intermediates, 2 red tapes, so that makes sense. So whenever we change on the penalty kill, the next forward line group will come in, and then Carrie Ann just swaps with Jess. So that means Ernest will be sitting out. That's fine. So let's watch this whole penalty kill the next 2 minutes. Oh, attempted clear, didn't work out. That's fine. We attempted it. That's fine. In terms of this, looked kind of messy. Let's kind of see what happened here. So, first mistake for Kathy. Again, we gotta boil it down. I guess we gotta discuss like who's responsible for what, and you know, quick review. What is our responsibility on the penalty kill? It is to prevent pucks from not entering the zone and if they do, make life miserable. So to get a shot on net, are we making life miserable for these players right now? I would argue we are not. Cliff had to make 2 humongous saves right there, earning his paycheck. And then now we get a rush back the other way. Almost. That looked like a pretty good chance. And I would say what I would do at this point with a minute 30, kill the clock, because that run time is going to be running. Slowly skate off, go for a change, slowly skate back on. You can see how the clock ticking, 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 ticking. We're just fist bumping this and that. Oh, no goal. We should have gone for a change, right? Killed that time. But okay, let's continue watching here. What the fuck? Why are we playing games at the blue line on the penalty kill? Oh my goodness. Whatever. I think Ray already knew, but taking it all the way back, that's perfectly fine. Kill that time. Dump it out. Dump it out. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay, dump it out. Oh my god. Alright, dump it out. Oh my god. Dump it out. Oh my god. Dump it out. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness, that was quite the excitement. So 3:44, 15 seconds left on the penalty kill. We should be heading back right now. Not for checking. Oh no. And that was a goal. That was a big mistake on Justin's part. I would point out Justin here. He's the centerman, which was playing defense with Jess, which was Ray, right? It didn't look like it, but he certainly was. And then now we've left Jess all alone. Yeah. Snuck underneath Cliff's armpit and goal. Yeah, that's a mistake for sure. And penalty kill over. Alright, I haven't done this before, but I think we gotta do a little bit of naming and shaming. Because first of all, I think number one, I noticed this was it got really bad in the second period, and it carried all the way to the end of the game. I think just unacceptable. It was pretty bad, and if it ever continues like this, it's not good for the team. So take a look at the clock. It's 7 minutes, right? And so this is where we got Kathy and Ray on the ice. And now let's skip ahead all the way to what? 3:45. So what? 3 minutes 15 seconds, 3.5 minutes before Justin's on the ice. That's pretty long. I mean, there is some whistles. There are some, there was a penalty called, whatever. But 3.5 minutes of not a change. That's crazy. There should have been at least 2 shifts happening on right there. And then, yes, I won't put as much blame on the red tapes just because we're red tapes. They're newer. We gotta more responsibility should be held on the intermediate players. So it's not only just Ray and Kathy. Take a look at this. 3 minutes 40 seconds, right? 3 minutes 45 when we stepped ice. Justin goes for the change at 27 seconds. So that's 3:45. So 3 minutes and another 3 and 15. That's freaking long. And Alex doesn't hop off until period is done. Like period ends here, I think. Yeah, there's a period. So 3 minutes 45 seconds on a shift. That's ridiculous. That's outrageous. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. So here is an example I said earlier when I was using Janice as a clip example of skating back, like we're cruising back, and it doesn't necessarily have to be fast. It just some level of movement. So we're moving back, and momentarily you can see I stop the puck and I'm still going backwards, which is, you can watch here, I'm still going backwards, and then I turn, and then we can pass it up. So it keeps it simple. It's much easier to receive the pass in this manner. Now this was a pretty long distance diagonal pass, pretty hard pass to receive, but it still remains true. If, like, let's say Jess was the one passing it, as long as you're skating towards it, it tends to be easier. And then from there, once you receive it, you can turn, and it's all forward skating, simple pass up, and then because you're already skating forward, you just continue it. You don't need to another key thing is because you're gliding, you're forward skating, you're not there's no energy spent building up speed, so you'll actually feel less tired, number one, and receiving these passes going to be a lot easier. Now this play, we go in, Gabe goes in for a shot, and yeah, I know this is the play that we have a questionable goal. So for me, I shot it through a screen and I wasn't sure if it went in, but when he split his legs open, I could see the puck clear as day in the net, and he's reaching behind and tucking it back underneath. So that's when I raised my hand. However, unfortunately, if the ref can't see it, then they can't call it, and obviously it's not the NHL, we don't have video review, blah 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 blah. It's okay, it's fine. So they called it no goal. I'm not gonna get too upset about it, but to me it looked like it went over the line, and Lena also said she saw it go over. So yeah, that's fine. You know, like, if we don't get the goal scored for us, it's not a big deal. We're having fun. Nothing is on the line. So that's what, for everyone that was curious, that's what I saw. But game on. I also wanted to point this one out. So earlier in the game, I noted out how Lena was kind of like all the way over here on that backdoor play, and I said it'd be like if she is able to shift over, then perfect, right? And now this time, puck's on the right hand side, perfect triangle right here, right in that beautiful magic spot is Lena. Now if I was able to slow down that puck a little bit, that's easier for her to take a shot off, it would have been perfect. I think I just put a little bit too much mustard on that, but positionally excellent from Lena. Yeah, I think beautiful. Like, this is excellent from everyone on the ice. Thomas, Jess, Lena, got a lot of options right here, and perfectly filling out all the empty spaces on the ice. Yeah, I wanted to kind of showcase that. I did want to actually rewind a little bit and take a little note for Jess, actually. So if we cut that ice in half, I would argue she's a little bit too far to the right, and I would have liked her to come back over in the middle a little bit more. And one of the things she can also keep an eye out for is, because she's weak side D, what does weak side D mean? She's the one that is, so puck's on the right hand side, so she's that left D. And we've said you have a little bit more freedom to be sneaky on that lefty. So you can kind of see how a lot of open space. So that's kind of where, like, if I say this is kind of where you default as that lefty, like that weak side D, but there's a lot of open space, she has total freedom to just sneak up a little bit, maybe sneak up a little bit here. So if pucks come through, or we can find some passes over to her, big chance to be threatening for a shot. And then because she's kind of leaked up, so let's say she's starting off here, she could possibly go into this area, and let's hash it out a little bit, shade it out. So if she started here, and because the puck shifts across, now she has a little bit of a head start to skate into it, probably could beat number 23. So some things to think about for anyone playing D and for Jess as well. So keeping on with this kind of clip, they had that puck across. Jess does an excellent job keeping it in, and rather than dumping in, taking a little bit of a more adventurous route, walking that blue line, skating across. I love it. It's so good. That means it shows some confidence. Now the only thing is right here, she has a backhand force pass. I get the idea, but if you're gonna skate it in as that D, have that confidence, take it in deep, go pretend you're that fourth forward, just have the confidence to go in, try to even score. Yeah, be creative. You have full permission. Get behind the net if you need to. So anyone that skates it in as a D, if you're gonna do it, commit to it. Don't be afraid. Go in there, get your hands dirty, be a forward, and then just have the expectation that your teammates are gonna come and fill for you. So in this case, I'm staying back to play defense, not a problem. So for all D, if you ever, don't be afraid to really kind of take it in deep, because we should be expecting a forward to cover, and then it won't be an issue. So this clip coming up here, Ray comes in, shoots it from pretty far out, pretty wide, but boom, big pass. The Ray and Kathy connection is pretty strong. They've definitely been clicking on all cylinders. Now this looks a little awkward, and okay, this doesn't happen very often, and I can see a little bit of hesitation from Kathy and Ray on what to do. And whenever we see a player going from the left all the way to the right hand side, it's kind of rare, but it's something to pick up on. And let's focus on Kathy right now. You can see it from Fee was here, she was here. When Fee is here, she's going to be here. When Fee is here, she's going to be here. So we're basically forming a line all the way across, and it doesn't make sense, and I'll explain why. She's on her backhand. This Kathy's not really gonna the expectation of getting some sort of tip pass or whatever. It just doesn't make sense. And right, that pass is not really gonna happen. She's not gonna tip the shot through, and so moving across like that, it doesn't make sense. So what I suggest is, and her movement in here like this makes a lot of sense. If that pass came through, boom, pretty much semi breakaway chance one-on-one on the goalie, because these players are kind of far to get poked off. But okay, so she's skating across, and what she should have done from there is start skating back up, and you're going to be trailing Fee. Not like right up her butt, but having a bit of a gap so that there's some possibilities where drop passes, where you can skate into it and shoot, or even just a backwards pass opens up. And how it kind of evolves, so if she starts skating it back up here, if Fiona decides to skate over here, she's going to continue to the magic spot. She continues all the way down to the corner. You continue to the half wall, and then Ray is also going to be kind of following up behind and filling out to that magic spot. But what Ray does actually is, I would say, pretty correct. He comes up, possibly there's a chance here, but as Fee's coming back down, he's going to go back around to support her. That if she moves back across, and then we're still, again, forming that triangle. So if Kathy's coming across, we're forming down here, one here, one here, one here, still a triangle, right? So that's perfectly fine. And the movement for Ray is, you know how as Fee's moving across, Kathy's coming across, and then Ray is just, you're going to time yourself. Once you see perhaps there's a threat for a pass or a shot, you're going to cut, you're almost cutting across the goalie. And the only difference is how, like, if Fiona's coming across, Kathy's coming across, and then if she skates all the way down, instead of like how you came up and back, the only difference would be you cut across, then here, and then move back. So that's kind of like my opinion of how we would do it. Now, it doesn't happen very often, and I can see why there's some confusion, but those are my thoughts on what you can do. Now, I remember this one. So puck gets summed up to Ernest, and we're on the bench. People are like, Ernest, shoot! And then he misses like off to the stratosphere, 10 feet wide, and someone makes a comment, at the net. And the path was like, you can kind of see it. It's hard to tell probably on your screen, but he almost took out this guy's head, and I thought you almost killed Fiona too, but I think she'd have to be at least like 2 to 3 feet taller in order for that to hit her head. So she's oh, good pass right here. Like, again, some key things. That magic spot, perfect. Just if that pass was able to connect more cleanly tape to tape, I think Kathy had a good opportunity to shoot there. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this positioning, but like I would have okay, if Fee wants to be there, again, I'd rather her be in front of the goalie so she can kind of jam it rather than these kind of greasy back doors. But, and the only reason is, again, it's so easy to defend. But yeah, I'll beat that horse dead. Alright, talked about this last week. The D coming in. Don't be afraid for the D. All the forwards. We'll have all four coming up together. So that's good to see. Little drop pat. I like it. Juicy. And then another highlight. One of the things is once you kind of deem that offensive play is over and the rush as a D, and I would argue it basically is dead right here. As a rush, not to say that the offensive chances are done, but as a rush, it is now done. Jess comes back and starts skating towards her defensive role. Perfect. That's actually that's perfect. And then here, Alex looks for a shot. Tip chance. That's crazy. That was a good one. So coming in, boom, deflected. Yeah, this goalie played well. Big save. Let's continue. Oh, fanned on it. And then, oh, big keep by Jess. Big pass. Let's go. Ah, that's a shame. But some key elements. Look at this. Faces the puck. Now she gets to turn. And sorry. Shot. Almost. Like she got a chance, right? So unfortunately, Derek says, "No way, Jose," and she wasn't able to get a shot. That's okay. I did want to bring this one up, and Ernest kind of brought it up, and I agree. So, what I agree on was he said I drifted back kind of far, and I wasn't able to get the shot off until pretty deep, sharp angle shot right here. Now, if I was able to keep it a little bit lower, it did look like I was able to, it might have been able to go in. So it went up just over, kind of beside the goalie's head. If we were able to keep it low, probably might have gone in. However, what I agree upon is, in my opinion, it's better to have these kind of baby one-time, like distance one-timers. So let's say I planted myself here and Dave sends a pass across. Think of it as a kind of curl and drag one-timer, where we kind of know that Austin Matthews shot where you kind of toe drag it into the body, changing that angle from here to here. Now if you think about it, a one-timer, changing from angle from where Dave is, get a shot, just a little baby one-timer, boom. It would be way more effective, and the goalie needs to move it just a little bit, so it would be more dangerous that way. Little highlight for Dave. Power move. Big puck protection, almost sneaks it in 5-hole. Good chance right there. So the play that we've all been waiting for. Just getting absolutely decimated by 23. And optics wise, we see Justin pressing into 23 with his stick, like cross-check style. Optically, it didn't look great from the bench. I'm sure he went up there and just said a few things. He said, what did you say, Justin? You said that's not how you ask her for a date? Or your breath smells? I don't know. Something like that. Let's do a little rewind. Oh my god, that is pretty bad. It's so yeah, I think it was said, they said he didn't know how to stop, and Justin said, why are you going to the board so hard like that if you can't stop? Fair point. I don't know what was said on the ice, but clearly, okay, I gotta watch this one more time. Yeah, what the fuck? He clearly knows how to stop, because he does a little baby stop there. That's crazy. And yeah, he's obviously a lot bigger than Jess. Yeah, I mean, the only comment is, like, who's a big guy in our team? Like, Justin used to be red tape last year. He was a big guy, and he's just smoked Amanda on the Dragons and the Birds. Kind of similar effect, so yeah. But because Jess is okay, we can all laugh about it, have the giggles. Okay, now power play. Let's watch the whole thing. We also pulled the goalie, and Ray went on. That was called by Andrew. At first, I on the bench I thought he leapfrogged, but that was like I didn't see Cliff was pulled. When once I saw Cliff was pulled, it makes sense. Totally makes sense. Put the forward line that goes on last, get on the ice. Totally in agreement for it. So everything looks fine here. Playing, I like, you can see how we said that weak side D, Thomas sneaking in. I like that. Let's continue watching. Block shot. They dumped it out. Oh, look at that. They dumped it out on the penalty kill. Continue. Yeah, cheeky, I like it. Pass down. Pass down. Tries to dump it. Keeps it in. Big shot by Ray. Glove save. Goalie played well there. Is this the famous Alex shot? Not yet, huh? Movement's good. Shot. Oh my god, Alex. Okay, so the famous Alex shot. So shot on net, left all alone, and you got him dead to rights. All you gotta do is pull it to your backhand, in. All you gotta do is skate it to the right, in. Oh my god, he's on the ground. Shoots it in his stomach. Oh, that's so funny. So I wanted to bring this clip up in terms of, for all wingers, how do you develop speed through the zone? And it really starts back with, so let's say that we got the puck all the way back, right? And a lot of us tend to just stay at that red line, park, stand still, and you'll never be able to get good speed through the zone. And you go back, in my opinion, you want to go back to the ice and you're watching when the D starts skating up. So in this case, you can see he's curled around, Ernest is curled around the net, and now I have started to turn, and same with Dave, right? He started to turn, so he's kind of cruising back, starting to turn. And it's through that, when you're starting to build all these crossovers, and you've already built some momentum, that you don't need to put any extra effort after that, and you're going to get a lot of speed. So you can see how, let's break it down. You do a turn, I've done 1, 2 crossovers, 3, and then 1, 2 strides, and now I'm just gliding. And not a lot of energy is expended from here to here, but I'm still going through fast, relatively, right? And I wanted to compare that with how kind of Kathy and Lena, they stop up, and you can see that they stop up, and they've had to expend quite a bit of energy to get to some speed, and now they're having to kind of catch up, and they're still quite a bit behind. You can see that, right? And again, it all starts with, you gotta skate back in order to be quicker, and it's counterintuitive. You're skating further, but at the net of things, you're actually going to be expending less energy, and that's really the only way I was able to get in the zone for that kind of speedy chance. So that's kind of something for the wingers, in my opinion, to kind of consider. think about actually like skating all the way back and then building crossovers, and that's going to get you a lot of speed through the zone. And again, in my opinion, it's going to be more energy efficient. You're not going to get as tired, and it's harder to defend. So that's something for everyone. So that game, funny enough, after the game, Ernest was saying he thought we got pumped, and I didn't think so. And watching through the review, there wasn't too many defensive lapses or struggles, in my opinion. There was a couple things where people were kind of get lost, or we were being beat skill wise, like let's say intermediate on a red tape. That's not really a problem. And really, we didn't play that much defense. The 2 goals were pretty obvious mistakes. And so, yeah, that's why I didn't have many clips on defense. Now, I did want to cut back and review something quickly. So, like I said, starting from second period, it was getting kind of bad. So, right here, 7 minutes in the third period left. We're going for a change. Ray and Kathy are coming on, and let's skip ahead to basically they're staying on to staying on, still on. Now they go for a change. Let's rewind a little bit so that I can see the clock. 4:15. So what's that? 2 minutes 45. Right, another long shift. There was quite a few like 2.5s, whatever. There wasn't like it's long, right? So 4:15, let's call it 4 minutes. And so that's Justin and Alex, 4 minutes. And we skip all the way, like, okay, let's just use the timer on the app. So 2:30. We're gonna skip ahead to what? Got the power play. I get it. You're excited for the power play. 2:30, 5:30, 6. Still on the ice. Oh my goodness. So, okay, so 6:30. So a 3-minute shift. Another 3-minute shift. Right. It's it's getting ridiculous. So wanted to show that out. Yeah, Kathy, Ray, Justin, Alex. We were good in the first period. Well, I don't know what happened, guys. It got bad. But yeah, I think enough of that. Otherwise, I thought it was a good game. It was pretty fun. We played a lot of offense, and not a lot of defense. But when we played defense, it was messy. I will admit, but I thought it was a fun game.